Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today it's channel shout out time. Two channels. You may well know both of them, to be honest with you, but I'm hoping to drum up some support for both of these guys. I keep saying community is used a lot when for the community this, community that. Outside of YouTube, never mind, it's just one of those easy statements. But I know the small pond that I swim in, it really does feel like a community. Now we all gravitate to some people more than others, or some of their channels more than others. That's just life. But it still goes round. People get involved. 1 minute, I'm not stopping. We got the tatters coming round. That's the guys that pick up our scrap metal. And they've all got these old-fashioned, in the old days they used to come around with either just hollowing out the side of the lorry or on a literally horse and cart, and they would shout out scrap iron or any old iron, all that stuff. And now it's just, they've obviously just got a recording and you might have just heard it. Oh, what am I going on about? Let's get back to the shout outs. Oh, I'm derailing these guys' channels already. They'll wish that I'd never shouted them out. Right, so one guy, which is Greybeard. I'm not doing this again because this is the third time. Greybeard Models, and this is Bob. I've shouted Bob out 1 or 2 times, but I shout out all my Maras constantly over the year because I can't do a lot for them, but I do like to see them, their channels develop. Some of them aren't bothered. It's just they do it they like interacting and that, and whether they get a ton of subs or not, it doesn't really bother them. But it's still it's something I can do, and I like to do it. So anyway, the second time I stopped this video, it's because I was saying "so" every 2 seconds. I sound like some teenager from 10 years ago. I wish I was in some respects. Right, let's get back to it. Bob from Greybeard Models. He's recently, as in today, put a video up of a Valentine tank unboxing. And I just happened to notice on the description, yes, I read your guys' descriptions. Apart from yours, Sean, over in Arkansas. But he said he was thanking everybody because he was quite close to the 500. So this is what this shout out's about. Nothing about anything else. It's about trying to get Bob over the line. If you sub to me, or if you're passing through and you just happen to see this video, please go and check out Bob at Greybeard's Model. There'll be a link to his channel in the description. Just one of those at Greybeard Models. Like me, I'm not going to say he's like me because that would be doing him a disservice. He definitely hasn't got head problems, but or a good singing voice, so I've heard. Anyway, I'm digressing. But anyway, I say anyway a lot as well. I know it's the heat. It's the heat, guys. I haven't slept in about a week. I don't sleep anyway, but it's getting pretty bad. He does some really nice models. What I like about Bob is what you see is what you get. A bit like me, without the scrambled head and the, all the rambling and the badly made models, the painted figures, which are slightly better than my badly painted models, but they're not exactly stellar artwork creations, but we do our best. He is just, he's himself. He hasn't got an agenda, whatever. He's just enjoys doing his models when he wants to do them and putting a video up when he wants to do it. But ever since I've known him, he's always been supportive of my stuff, and I try and reciprocate because I generally enjoy people's channels that I hang around with. So would you please, if you haven't subbed to Bob at Greybeard Models, would you at least just go over and take a look? We don't say on this channel, go and sub to him. That's your own bag. I don't ask for subs on this channel or whatever. I think if people are kind enough to do it, brilliant. And I can't thank you all enough for doing it on my channel. But yeah, but I'd really like to see Bob I'd like to see you all get to the 1,000. But let's get Bob over the 500. It's always a big, huge mountain to climb, and you know, that you often lose a load of subs and then you get a couple more. Then, because I believe as well as people are subbing, I think unless you make your subs show that you're sub to somebody, YouTube wipe them out after a month. I believe that's the case anyway, which is why some of you, and myself included, will often lose 20 odd subs at a time. So yeah, that's Bob. Now the other guy who's now thinking, oh God, I've just heard the rubbish he's just coming out with for Bob, and now he's going to destroy my channel as well. And this is Gary from Gary's Stuff. A lot bigger channel. I think Gary's got about 5,000 subs, but as I say, personally, I don't care if somebody's got 50,000 subs or 5. If I'm in contact with that person, then I think, you know, it doesn't hurt to, you know, they're still part of the community. There are some of the big hitters that I won't say are in it for themselves, because that's wrong. We all, you know, I turned my original thing of wargaming into painting wargames figures, and now I paint wargames figures. I don't really wargame at the moment, and obviously I've gone into now painting busts and 1 in 35 scale figures, 54mm, making my models, all that type of stuff. But you do get some that it's more financial, I believe, than they obviously must like doing it or they wouldn't do it, but it's not really community based, if that makes sense. And although it sounds I'm knocking them people, I'm not. You know, we have to live, don't we? So and as I do it with painting figures who can hardly throw stones at people. But that's not what my channel's about. I really just, especially with my head problems, I really enjoy interacting with people. It keeps me alive. There, I said it. Yeah, you know, I just enjoy being here. So Gary, at Gary's Stuff, let's not derail his shout out. I believe I might have done that already. He's a really decent model maker, and he's got now we've got chainsaws. Can you believe it? Yes, you can. There's a song in there somewhere. Yeah, he'll do close-ups on his work. He's not scared to show his work off. He's got a really decent sense of humour. Well, that's what he says anyway. But no, he has. He's got a decent sense of humour, and you know, he wants to obviously fund. He'll do Patreon and all that stuff. And again, that's not having. As I've just said all that, it's not having a go at him. You've got to. If you want to. Sometimes, if you haven't got the income particularly, I'm not saying he hasn't. I have no idea. I'm digging myself in a really big hole here, aren't I? What I'm saying is, he'll say, like, you know, if you can spare a penny, spare a quid. I was going to say spend a penny, but that's probably wrong. You know, do so. But I don't know. He seems to have a better connection, I would say, with the community than some of the big players. Yeah, I want to shout him out because I've enjoyed a lot of his videos recently. Well, I've been going back into his archives as well, but they've been great to put on as I'm working and I look up. He was one of those that did the Airfix visit recently, and I thought what he had to say was honest. You know what I mean? It wasn't toadying to Airfix. I thought it was a decent, honest review of his trip to the Airfix factory at Margate. I tried to do a London there, Margate, rather than Margate, as we would say up here. Both Bob and Gary, I believe, are Londoners. They've tried on numerous occasions to emigrate up to here to the West Midlands. Unfortunately, when doing the tick boxes, they just couldn't meet the criteria. We won't go into what that criteria is because it will then be a Midlands Southern slanging match. Right, I don't believe anybody's going to watch this or be in the slightest interested. But if you have, thank you very much. Would you please stop by their channels? I always say, if you're not going to sub, would you just press the like button, maybe, please? you know, on a video that you might have watched or theirs, or just had to click on to see. That'll help them out, even if you don't sub. But a sub would be great. Gary's obviously conquering the universe with his channel, and I believe Bob is conquering, is it North London Bob or South London? I'm not sure, but he's out there doing his thing when he's not watching the cricket or watching one of his heavy metal bands, or whether they are in the in his local, which I believe is called the Cavern. I've watched the Stickers, Bob, and they got a shout out as well there. Right, look after yourselves. Coming up on the channel will be more of the 20. I bet you guys are getting sick. Never mind, sick and tired of these shout outs. You're getting sick and tired of these bloody naps I keep showing you. But we got 6 more naps coming up, probably tomorrow or the next day. I'm already halfway through the Grenadier Company. Then I've got Voltigeurs marching post to join the battalion, and then I've got 6 Voltigeurs skirmishing in front of the battalion to do, and then that's done. What else have we got done? I'm not even going to go show and tell of the commissioned infantry. Yeah, I know, but we have sometime this week. Now the dog's barking too, not mine, because we've got Pop. Never call him a dog when it's your pet. He's not even a pet. Now the phone's going. He's not even a pet. They're both my Pops. Okay, Barclay's passed away, but I still say he's here. Right, I'm going, because I'm going all over the shop now. Lack of sleep, guys, lack of sleep. Not only does it rob you of beauty, it also makes you ramble even more than you would normally. Look after yourselves. The Panther had to have a rest for 3 days because he got absolute scorchio here, and I was finding not only was the paint, shout over the dog barking, not only is the paint actually drying on the brush, even with retarder on, I just wasn't going to put varnish through the airbrush onto the tank and wreck it. A couple of unboxings hopefully later on the week. 2 more kits have coming through the post. Money I didn't really have, but we went into the emergency funds because of 1, Mr. Greg Riley, and 2, my own looking on eBay. We'll see them when they come in. Look after yourselves again.